I have a lot of excitement around a one Garrett Nussmeier, and I've said it a lot, man. LSU, I think, will play for the SEC championship when it's all said and done here on conference title weekend. And a big part of that to me is the progress I'm anticipating from a one Garrett Nussmeier. Like, last year was great for him. Over 4,000 yards. Yeah, some picks like to have back. Ball up top, it is what it is. But he did all that without a real run game, his first year in the system, an SEC schedule. Like, it wasn't necessarily just like the most teed up situation for him to go have the year that he had. And assuming he has more around him this year, I love everything there for Garrett Nussmeier to have more progress than for LSU to ball. So I want to unpack this together a little bit. What I just said, he's going into a year now where it's his second year in the system under Joe Sloan. Remember, last year was Joe Sloan's first year as the OC in Baton Rouge. The year before, it was Mike Denbrock and Jane Daniels, and they did numbers like Good Will Hunting. It was a good time. However, though, now with it being his second year in the system, y'all know you drive a car differently when you're not renting it, right? Like when you're getting it from the good folks over there at I was gonna say Expedia Enterprise rent a car. Like I might slow down a little bit before I hit that speed bump. I might maybe be a little bit extra careful, extra cautious when I'm parallel parking. But when you own that thing, man, you are whipping it. You are rolling. You are driving with confidence. You are driving with some presence about yourself, some poise. Not irresponsible, all right? Not irresponsible. But I do think Garrett Nussmeier having another year where this is truly his offense and he's comfortable in it to another degree, that's going to yield positive dividends for the LSU offense. The other part of this, right aligned with that, is the perspective he has now walking into the octagon is different than it was a year ago. And we've mentioned this a few times, but I want to revisit it. When you walk into a game in October, and it's essentially a college football playoff play-in game, that was Garrett Nussmeier's first time experiencing that a year ago. Like when they played Alabama last year in Baton Rouge, it was a massive spot. I'm not saying he wasn't ready for it, and I'm not saying the LSU defense wasn't abysmal in that game, but like Garrett Nussmeier never felt what that moment was like. When they walk into a game like that this year at Alabama or against A&M, he's going to have a better presence about himself, which better presence, better confidence, pretty fair to say at the quarterback position in the SEC should and I believe will yield to better results. Now, also, I mentioned the weapons around him. There's no shot the run game is as bad as it was a year ago, right? It can't be worse than it was last year. There were times where it felt like LSU was just like, we can't run the football because of who we have in the backfield. Let's throw this thing. Caden Durham, going into his sophomore year, I'm really excited to see what he can be when he stays healthy. Because when he was healthy last year, he was a dog for them, right? He became their go-to back when they were really rolling and when he was able to be at full strength. And the other part of this, in addition to the run game, I don't think your wide receiver room takes any sort of step back from last year to this year. Aaron Anderson, he's back. Y'all, Barrion Brown, one of the most, I think, underrated transfers of this entire cycle, averaged 12 yards a catch his entire time at Kentucky, and that's without a true quarterback to call a spade there. Barrion Brown, Nick Anderson, Aaron Anderson, like they're going to be in real good shape, I think, to run it up and score a lot of points there with Garrett Nussmeier running the show. So the confidence, the pieces around him, another year in the system, the mental side of it, all of it for Garrett Nussmeier, I think it makes for him being in a tremendous spot here ahead of 2025. And I think, again, it makes for LSU, I believe, being in Atlanta for the SEC championship first weekend of December. Can't wait for it.